Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. So you may have seen recently, I went apple picking. I was at a farm and they had apples and I took the apples off the tree and I put them in the bag and now I have apples. Like a real city slicker on the farm, right? So I got to do something with the apples. We're getting into spooky season. I'm actually I'm by my spooky tree here. We got a spooky tree. So we're getting in there. So I'm like, let's do something seasonal. Let's make an apple pie. I love apple pies. I truly do. We're going to use a paleo based crust. It's my go-to crust recipe. So I'll put a link to the recipe that I use in the description. And the rest of the recipe, all the filling, it's ad hoc. I'm making it up as I go. So we'll see how this turns out. To the kitchen. So I already made the dough and I doubled the recipe so that way I have top crust and bottom crust, and I just kind of like approximated where the middle was and just kind of sliced it in half. So I'm gonna roll out half of it, and I use one of these type of baking pans. Now the reason I like this particular pan, not because it's metal versus glass, that's not the reason, it's the depth. This is like a fairly deep dish, and I find that like whenever I'm making pies, I want to load in that filling. And the deeper the dish, the more filling you get. You also have to watch your temperature though, because it can adjust the cooking time. But more filling. That's what I'm doing. Then these are the ingredients I'm going to use. I have all of my apples. I'm going to prep them by peeling them and slicing them thin. I have some honey. I have a little lemon juice. This is oat flour. I have some raisins. I'm feeling like doing raisins today. And some cinnamon and some cloves. Oh, and I have this bat cookie cutter. We're going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. But for the top crust, instead of just laying it on, I'm going to stamp out some bats and lay them on top. That's the plan. So I have my apples all chopped up. So they are good to go. I was noticing as I was peeling and chopping them, these are like really juicy apples. So it's either going to make this super delicious or it's going to make the crust really soggy. I don't know. We're going to find out. But they were super juicy. They look delicious. So now I'm going to add the other ingredients to the apples, mix it up, then get the pie crust ready. So that's what we're up to. So I'm going to put just a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to put it in this cap. And we're going to do 2 capfuls. Oh, there's a heaping capful, but that's good. That's okay. And the nice thing about the lemon juice, it's going to stop the apples from browning. It's like science. Amazing. Then I have just a little bit of oat flour, and that hopefully will just absorb some of the extra liquid. Next, this is the cinnamon, and I'm going to start with 2 teaspoons. I'm a big cinnamon fan, and I may add more. I'm not sure yet. Then some cloves. I'm gonna do about, I don't know, like half a teaspoon roughly. It's a guesstimate here. Get a big old spoon and mix it around. I know I didn't put the honey in yet. I wanted to coat this first. Okay, so far that's been about 3 tablespoons and a bunch of funny honey noises. So I'm gonna mix this around and see how that's looking. So I'm gonna let that kind of mixture of all the apples and all the goodness kind of sit and soak everything in for a minute. I'm gonna work on the crust. And then I will sort of like evaluate where it's at, because it might let out some of its juices right now. It may need a little bit of an adjustment. We'll see. So I'm going to put that to the side, let it sort of do its thing, like let nature take its course on it. And I'm going to work on the crust. So the way I like to deal with my crust is I like to use cling wrap. You can also use parchment paper. But basically I have laid down some cling wrap and I have put the dough underneath another piece of cling wrap. And then we get to use a rolling pin, roll it flat. So now it's all rolled flat, and then I take my pie pan and I kind of measure it against the size of the dough, and we'll invert it right into the pan now that it's big enough. Invert it right on top there, and we lift it up, get our hands under there, and remove all that cling wrap. And we just kind of position the dough and fix any cracks that happened. We want it to go all the way into the corners. It's okay that that's happening. That's okay. Okay, we have our crust all prepared. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll another one out flat. I'm going to test out using this cookie cutter and to make all the bats. We'll see if this works. If it doesn't work, it's okay, and then I'll just end up with a flat top on my pie. Totally cool, but I want to give it a try. I've never made like a pretty fancy pie with like little shapes or anything, so why not try it? Just trying to get a few of them to fit on here. And the thing is, like, we can always re-roll the extra, right? Okay, so now let me peel these away. This dough is so soft though. It's so soft. I would think at this point I have to go from underneath and sort of, yes, this is what I have to do. Okay. And then look, I have a little bat. Yes, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay. So I gave the apples a little taste just to figure out if the seasoning is correct. Needed a little more sweet. So I added it's about 2 tablespoons more of honey. So I think in total it's like 5 tablespoons of honey that I added. And I tossed in some raisins, maybe about 1/4 cup of raisins. Totally to taste. If you like raisins, add more. If you don't like raisins, leave them out. But they're all mixed up, and now I'm going to put the filling in the pie crust. Then I'm going to finish stamping out the rest of the bats and laying them on top. I'm pretty excited. This seems to have worked. I'm going to show you, and then it's going to go in the oven. We'll see if it holds up after baking, but it's topped with bats. It's topped with bats, y'all. Ah, this is so cool. This is so cool. Okay, let me show you. Look at all of these adorable bats on my pie. My pie is covered in cute bats. Okay, this is gonna go in the oven now. So it's in the oven right now. I put it in for 400 for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna reduce the heat to 350, and it's gonna bake for another half hour to 40 minutes. We're gonna have to, keep an eye on it. But we'll have a pie. We'll have a pie. This is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna let it bake. I'll be back. Oh, y'all, I just took it out of the oven, and it's gorgeous and batty and appley. I'm so excited to show y'all. Oh my gosh. Let me, yeah. Look what I did. I made this. I made a bat apple pie. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that it worked and it came out so adorable. Like, look at this little bat. Ah, these are great. These are great. Y'all, it's gonna be really hard for me to like cut into this and eat a slice because it's so cute. I'm so happy with it. But I gotta taste it, right? I gotta do that. Gotta let it cool first. And then we will sample it. Oh goodness. Moment of truth. This is so nerve-wracking. I'm like, I don't want to cut into it, but I have to. I have to taste it. Okay, I'm sorry, Bats. I'm sorry, Bats. Oh, goodness gracious. All my bats. Ah! Okay, not the prettiest slice. But it's okay. We're just trying to taste. We're just trying to get a taste. Okay. So you can see, not the prettiest slice. It kind of fell apart on the plate, but I was just trying to get all the apples from the associated area. And time to taste. Time to taste. So, moment of truth, y'all. Let's see how I did. Let's see. Let's get a little apple and a little crust and a little raisin. We got to get a little bite with everything, right? So we got a little bite with everything. It's a good apple pie. It's a good apple pie. This, my friends, this is a winner. This is a winner. Mm-hmm. These are really good. These are really good. If you recall from the apple picking day, I was picking gala apples, zestars, and Honey Crisps. Honey Crisps. So it's a combination of those 3 types of apples. And hey, this pie turned out fantastic. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this deconstructed slice. And with that, I'm done for the day. I'll see you all real soon. And until then, stay inspired. Bye, everyone. Take care.